They laughed at your silence. They mistook your calmness for weakness. They thought because you didn't argue, didn't react, didn't announce every move, you had no power. But history has always feared the quiet ones. Because the loudest people in the room usually want attention, while the quiet ones want results. There is a dangerous power in staying quiet. A power most people never understand until it's too late. The world is full of noise. Everyone is talking. Everyone is explaining themselves. Everyone is trying to prove something. But the person who stays quiet learns things others miss. When you stay quiet, you observe. You notice fake smiles. You notice hidden intentions. You notice who respects you only when they need something. You notice who disappears when your value is no longer useful to them. Silence sharpens awareness. And awareness is power. Weak people react to everything. Strong people study everything. That's why lions move silently before they attack. That's why the ocean is calm before the storm. That's why the most dangerous minds rarely speak too much. Because true power does not need constant validation. Most people destroy themselves with their own mouths. They reveal their plans too early. They speak out of emotion. They argue with fools. They waste energy explaining themselves to people committed to misunderstanding them. But when you learn to stay quiet, you protect your energy. And energy is everything. Every unnecessary argument steals your focus. Every emotional reaction weakens your discipline. Every attempt to prove yourself drains your confidence. You don't need to explain your vision to people who can't see it. Read that again. You do not need permission to become powerful. Some of the greatest transformations happen in silence. Nobody sees the lonely mornings. Nobody sees the sacrifices. Nobody sees the discipline. Nobody sees the nights you fought your own mind and still kept going. They only see the success later. That is the dangerous part about silence. People underestimate you while you are building. They think you are doing nothing because you are not posting every move. They think you are weak because you don't react. They think you lost because you walked away peacefully. But silence is not surrender. Sometimes silence is strategy. There are moments in life when reacting emotionally can destroy years of progress. One angry sentence can ruin relationships. One emotional decision can ruin opportunities. One moment of weakness can create lifelong regret. That's why mature people master silence. Silence gives you control. And the person with control always has the advantage. Imagine two people in a conflict. One screams, reacts, loses emotional control. The other stays calm, listens, observes, and speaks only when necessary. Who truly has the power? The calm one. Because emotional control is a superpower in a world addicted to reaction. The modern world trains people to react instantly. Social media rewards outrage. People fight over opinions. People expose their emotions publicly every day. But disciplined people move differently. They understand something powerful. Not every battle deserves your attention. Some people want reactions because your silence makes them uncomfortable. Your peace exposes their chaos. Your discipline exposes their weakness. Your calmness exposes their lack of self-control. That's why staying quiet frustrates insecure people. Because silence cannot be manipulated easily. When you stop explaining yourself, people are forced to observe your actions. And actions always speak louder than words. You don't need to announce your grind. You don't need to tell everyone your next move. You don't need to convince doubters. Let success speak. Move in silence. Build in silence. Suffer in silence if you must. But never stop building. Because the strongest comeback is the one nobody sees coming. There is also another dangerous side to silence. Silence protects your mind. Most people are mentally exhausted because they absorb too much noise, too many opinions, too much negativity, too much comparison, too much gossip. Quiet people learn how to disconnect from distraction. And once you remove distraction, your mind becomes dangerous. Focus becomes stronger. Goals become clearer. Discipline becomes easier. That's why some people fear being alone in silence. Because silence forces you to face yourself. No distractions. No entertainment. No validation. Just you and your thoughts. And many people spend their whole lives running from that moment. But powerful people sit in silence and transform there. They build confidence internally instead of begging for approval externally. That is rare. A man or woman who no longer needs constant validation becomes unstoppable. Because now they are driven by purpose, not applause. Listen carefully. The world respects people who respect themselves. And self-respect often looks quiet. It looks like walking away from disrespect without drama. It looks like saying less and doing more. It looks like controlling emotions when others lose control. It looks like refusing to gossip. It looks like staying disciplined while others chase temporary pleasure. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is control. And control creates power. Think about the people who changed history. Many of them spent years unnoticed. Years doubted. Years ignored. Before greatness becomes visible, it is usually silent. A seed grows underground before the world sees the tree. Remember that. Right now, you may feel invisible. You may feel overlooked. You may feel underestimated. Good. That gives you time to build without pressure. Time to improve without attention. Time to become stronger quietly. Never underestimate quiet growth. The loud crowd often peaks early. But silent discipline compounds over time. 1 year of focused silence can completely change your life. Imagine if you stopped arguing with negativity. Stopped announcing every goal. Stopped seeking approval. Stopped reacting emotionally. Stopped wasting energy trying to prove yourself. Imagine channeling all that energy into growth. Your body would change. Your mindset would change. Your income would change. Your confidence would change. Your future would change. That is the dangerous power of staying quiet. Because silence creates focus. And focused people become unstoppable. But understand this clearly. Being quiet does not mean being weak. It does not mean tolerating disrespect forever. It does not mean having no voice. True silence is intentional. It means you choose peace over pointless conflict. You choose discipline over emotional chaos. You choose observation over reckless reaction. And when you finally speak, your words carry weight. Why? Because people know you do not speak carelessly. The loudest people are often ignored eventually. But when a quiet person speaks, the room listens. Become that person. Do not reveal every plan. Do not react to every insult. Do not fight for attention. Let people underestimate you. While they talk, build. While they doubt, improve. While they complain, execute. And one day your results will make more noise than your words ever could. Remember this for the rest of your life. Silence is not weakness. Silence is preparation. Silence is discipline. Silence is emotional mastery. Silence is hidden strength. And sometimes, the most dangerous person in the room is the one saying nothing at all.